everybody, today I'm with Cherise van der Vyver and we are still on the mission to find out what makes South Africans lekker. Lekker. She's a financial advisor and today I really want to discuss finances. I know it's that dreaded word we all don't like to hear, but we are busy raising families, we are hustling and bustling to get that income for our families and just to survive, right? And how are we even thinking about the future? Are we even thinking about the future? I don't know about you guys, but that's like the last on my list. Like, I'm just living for each and every day, which I suppose is not the best way to live. So today Cherise is going to discuss some tips and tricks with us, that we don't have to just survive day to day, that we can plan for those futures and still live.
Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm going to keep it nice and simple and practical. One of the biggest problems I've encountered is we are the sandwich generation. So the issue is we have to take care of ourselves, but we're in the middle. We have to take care of our children and our parents who didn't necessarily make the right choices or the right decisions, or they had hardships. So we are the sandwich generation. So unfortunately, we are under more pressure than we should or we need to be. So the one thing we need to do is we need to think forward. We mustn't do the same. We must plan for our future. Think present. We need to save. We need to be better with our money. The most practical, simplest, easiest way to work with the money, and you must always work within your means, within your budget, is exactly that, is to do a budget. I come across people who do not do a budget. You cannot have a budget here. It's got to be on a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet, whatever's practical. But if you do not write it down, you will not stick to it. If you do not write it down, you can't see where wastage goes, where over expenditure goes. If you do not write it down, you also cannot plan. So you have to have a tangible budget, and it's easy to start. It's a nightmare in the beginning, but for 3 months you literally need to write down every single little detail. You will also be surprised by how much you waste, and you'll be surprised by how much you live outside of your budget. So that's practical tip number 1. Budget, budget, budget.
Sure, that is a good one. I like that. My mom always used to have these big to-do lists. So instead of having have your to-do list and then have your budget list, I think.
Correct. And another thing to do is what we don't realize, especially women, is we leave the finances up to our husbands and our partners, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the good thing is to be involved, to be actively involved. Have a second set of eyes, be accountable, hold each other accountable, but also that way you might pick up something that you didn't know before, you might guide him to something he didn't know before. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with the man being the head, but you need to be part of it. You need to be a team. So what my husband and I do is we pick one day a month just after payday. We do it together and we have a glass of wine or a nice cup of coffee and we chat.
Nice.
And we make it a couple thing and we hold each other accountable. But also if something happens to me or if he dies, I know what's going on and he knows what's going on. So make it a date night once a month when the little one or whoever's gone to sleep. Do your budgets, do it together, and women, please be involved.
Oh, I love that. You actually shared a tip with me and my husband when we were doing our planning, and you said to me we must pay ourselves first.
Yeah, so there's a lovely book I suggest everybody reads. If you're busy like me, it's hard to read, so our audiobook. But there's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, and it's by George Clayson. But the thing he says, and it made sense to me, is pay yourself first. And we think, okay, but I get my salary or I get my income from my hustle and bustle. No, that's not yours. That goes to rents, water, electricity, to your children, to your food. That's not yours. You working, you are hustling, you are striving. You have to pay yourself first. So what that means is 10% goes to making me and my future better. After that, then you do your planning and your budgeting with what's left. Otherwise, you're not paying yourself. You're just staying alive. So pay yourself 10% first, and then as he says in the book, is make that your slave. What that means is that money, that 10%, must work for you. So don't put it under your bed. Don't put it in the cupboard. Put it somewhere where it can grow and somewhere where you're not just going to access it easily. And speaking of which, nobody has a 3 to 6 month emergency plan. Please, guys, start working towards that. If COVID taught us anything, is that stuff can happen like that. So you have to have a 3 to 6 month emergency plan. But pay yourself your 10% first and make that 10% work for you in the form of you can study again, you can put your money away, there's tax-free savings, but pay yourself your 10% first.
So yes, I think South Africans stay lekker. Make sure that you budget for those bras. Make sure you budget for those breakfasts. And I really hope that you all learned a lot. And we'll drop the link or Cherise's number below. And you're welcome to contact her if you've got any more questions on how to save lekker for your bras. Enjoy your day further.
Stay lekker.